Hi everyone. We are listening to Jhol today after it has been what, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days since it came out.
I think 3 days, yeah.
But yeah, we couldn't wait to listen to it together, and we have heard that it's an amazing track. It's
Mm,
already have garnered like I don't know 4.5 million.
mhm.
So should we?
Let's just start. I can wait.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, three, two, one, play.
Coke Studio, Season 15.
Finally, Manu gets the stage right. We are such a big fan.
Yeah.
Oof. His voice, isn't it?
ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ ਖਾਬਾਂ ਚ ਤੱਕਿਆ ਸੀ ਲੈ ਹੁਣ ਦਿਨ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੜਿਆ ਤੇ ਦਿਲ ਚ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਚ ਤੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਪਾਸ ਤੇ ਤੜਪਦੀ ਰੂਹ ਤੇ
Nice.
ਕਰੀਬ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਹਲੇ ਨਾ ਤੂੰ ਜਾ
I love this flow. This particular part is so smooth.
ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਮੰਗਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਰੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਡਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਚ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਸਰਤ ਤੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੁਸਨ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਜਣਾ ਬੋਲ
The chorus is beautiful.
ਤੇਰੇ ਹੀ ਝੋਲ ਉੱਤੇ ਨੱਚਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਚ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੀ ਹੁਣ ਬੋਲ
Lovely.
ਸਜਣਾ ਕਿਆ ਮੰਗੋ
The chorus is so beautiful, and the setting and everything. The cinematography on this one.
ਸਾਸ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਟਾਲਦੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਛੱਡ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ 'ਚ ਫਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਆ ਝੂਠ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਰੂਰ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਿਖਾ ਗਾਣੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਜੱਜਦੇ ਨੇ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦੀ
Nice.
ਯਾਰੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਵੀ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਸੁਰ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਸੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਨੇ
Oh, she can flow.
ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਆਵੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਲਾਵੇ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਦੂਰ ਜਾਵੇ ਜਾਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੱਢ ਜਾਵੇ ਸੱਜਣਾ ਏ ਤੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਵਸਣਾ ਹੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੁਸਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਏ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਤੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਦਗੁਮਾਨੀ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰਾ ਯਾਰ ਸੀ ਦਿਲ ਆਸਮਾਨ ਪਾਰ ਸੀ ਦੋ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾ ਸੀ ਕਾਗਜ਼ੀ ਪਰ
ਮੇਰੀ ख्वाहिश ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਹਸਰਤ ਤੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਮਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਣਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੇਰੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੁਸਨ ਤੇ ਮਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਜਣਾ ਬੋਲ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੀ
Oh.
ਝੋਲ ਤੇ ਨੱਚਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਚ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੀ ਹੁਣ ਬੋਲ ਸਜਣਾ ਕਿਆ ਵਾਂਗੋ
Ah, the flute killed it.
Dude, I love this particular bridge. He has sung it so well. The bridge is amazing.
ਹੁਣ ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੁਸਨ ਤੇ ਮਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਜ਼ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਸਜਣਾ ਬੋਲ ਤੇਰੇ ਹੀ ਝੋਲ ਤੇ ਨੱਚਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਚ ਕਰੀਏ ਕੀ ਹੁਣ ਬੋਲ ਸਜਣਾ ਕਿਆ ਵਾਂਗੋ
All right, Simran left out. Cool. All right, that was beautiful. Beautiful. All right.
Beautiful song.
Chorus, I mean, the whole ensemble here, Maanu, Annural Khalid, and Flute.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Tell me your views.
So I think you remember we were discussing over the chat. You mentioned that probably it's going to be your most favorite of the season. I think there are three more tracks to come, and we already have a very strong contender in the form of 2 a.m. But I really had high hopes when you sent me that message. And I mean, 1 minute into this track, I was completely mesmerized.
Yeah.
Mesmerized
Yeah.
through and through, from the start till the ending. I just listened to the track. I didn't watch the video in the beginning because I wanted to experience what Manu has come up with. You have said that we
Same.
have,
Same.
yeah, we appreciate his music, we appreciated his style, and I was sold. I loved every single part of this track. It was so cohesive from the beginning. It's a very short track, not very short track. It's the right amount.
It feels very short, isn't
It feels
it?
very short. It feels very short, but 4 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you a small beat to rest. I just enjoyed it thoroughly from the start till
Yeah.
the ending, whether it's chorus, the bridge, the parts that Anural has sung. I will come to that. I personally, you remember that I said that Manu's singing has been phenomenal in this particular track, but I'll come to Anural later because as this song grew on me further, I started to understand the brilliance of Anural singing in this track as well.
You come to appreciate Arunal more, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll come to that
So
specific bit.
so there are songs which grew on you, and it grew and grew and grew like Pasudi was one of them. So I
Yep.
appreciated it in the first go, but it grows on you. Then there are songs where you listen to them and as soon as it ends, you're like, oof, oof,
Yep.
oof, what
Absolutely.
was that? And that was me. That was
Same.
me. I was
Same.
like,
Yeah.
oof, oh my God, what a track.
Yeah.
What a track, right? I had that feeling. I did. It's, first of all, we have been a fan of Manu for a long time. His writing, his voice, his singing, his delivery, his cadence, everything is something that we appreciate a lot. And it's somehow we relate to it for whatever reason, right? There is that. This particular track was his groove,
It is.
right? His writing, his poetry, his delivery, his groove. But somehow Anural, oh my God, I mean, she did it. She
Killed
did
it.
it. Did it. So when we hear Anural, she's very melodic. Her voice is very unique. There's this characteristic to her voice, but the flows that she can create while being melodic, right? Almost to the
Absolutely.
point of rapping, as she did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I wanted to mention. The rapping.
Yeah, as she did in this particular track, that was brilliant, brilliant. So I mean, we will talk more about Anural and Manu himself, but I have to appreciate. I have like one beef, but also have to appreciate the arrangement itself. Everything was, you know, picked and designed for this track, especially the flute. Added a lot of sugar, a lot of sugar. Although looking at the visuals, looking at the visual, I felt that it had a disconnect when I first watched the video because it felt like a jazz bar. Although yeah, there's this melancholic, romantic vibe, but
Retro.
the
Yeah.
right, but the bar and the stage and all felt like jazzy. The sound wasn't. But I mean, if we put that aside, the visuals, especially I love that part where the guitarist is just jamming to, and every time I see that visual, it does
Yeah.
something to me.
Yeah, I think the video has a very retro feel to it,
Yeah.
as you mentioned. Uh, you mentioned to me on chat that it was Khamaj level, Khamaj
Come on.
kind of,
Yeah.
and the story is somewhat
Somewhat.
similar to that same story. But
Yes.
I understand the vision that the director must have had. I haven't watched the BTS of this particular track, The Magical Journey. I haven't. But I can feel the emotion that he's trying to portray. The track itself is called Jhol. I don't know if it's the Urdu Jhol or in Punjabi. There's
Punjabi.
a
Jhol.
I don't know. I don't know. If it's Urdu Jhol, then
It doesn't
how?
fit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit because Jhol in that sense would be some kind of anomaly,
Yes,
irregularity.
yes.
I don't know, deviation. But here, if you look at the subtitles, it means something else entirely
Yeah, it
different.
is. So another thing that that keeps bugging me is that so far in the season, it's about sound of the nation. It's about celebrating culture. It's about celebrating society. It's about encouragement. It's about resilience. It's about persistence. It's about perseverance. This track
Deviates
is
from that.
it deviates, right? So you take I, you take 2 AM, you take Chal Chaliye, you take Blockbuster, you take
Yep. Yep.
all the tracks,
Correct.
and Har Kale, it's about
Kale.
the culture as well, right? Magrula, it's about culture, right? It's about celebration. Here, I don't get it. I don't get it. You know how it fits in the narrative of the season.
Season.
Yeah, but that's something that bugs me. In silo, individually, the track is beautiful.
Absolutely.
And I want to mention about the poetry as well. So one thing with Manu is his writing always, right? Always has this beauty of simplicity. So this track, all the poetry is beautiful while being extremely simple. And that's something that I really, really appreciate.
Yeah. So for me, when you mentioned the part about rapping, it's not intentional rapping, I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
but Manu has composed it in a way. That's why I said that it doesn't bore you. I wouldn't say the word bore, but it doesn't give you enough space in the song, which I love personally. It felt so cohesive from
The
beginning to the end.
transitions, everything.
Everything is spot on, and I love the fact that the build up to the chorus itself is absolutely melodic. It's wonderful, beautiful, whatever adjectives you put, but the build up to the chorus in the form of semi rap
Yeah.
method that they have used is brilliant. I just enjoy even the part when Manu has done it in the initial minutes, and then when Annural did it, it was
Yeah.
to the next level. To the next level. I specifically want to talk about Annural here, although I initially loved Manu singing, but when I listened to Annural for the first time, this was, of course, my first experience listening to her.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was. So their spectrum of voices when it comes to female singing, or if you talk about my personal choice, I usually prefer the more bold, the more jazzy, the more low scale voice or texture of female voice. For instance, like Tina Sani, Misha Shafi, Uruj Aftab, Pratulan Baloch, Yashal. So that kind of singing appeals to me a bit more. But then you have the singers who are at the other spectrum of that range. So
Their
someone who
octaves
is
are higher.
yeah, absolutely melodic. And for instance, like Nayara Noor or even Shreya Ghoshal. Shreya Ghoshal is a wonderful example. And Anural fits in that category perfectly for me. She has extremely sweet voice, and that rapping bit actually complemented her style of singing. I just fell in love with that part and
So-
also the bridge that she sang.
So Anural has featured, have featured roles with Tala Anjum and other rappers as well.
yeah.
And many, Anural has done a lot of collaboration with a lot of different artists. And again, I wouldn't put it as rapping, but it was,
It
the
was
flow
flow.
was beautiful with while being completely melodic.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think one last thing that I want to talk about from my side was the video itself. Although you are right, it may feel like a disconnect because of the setting that they have created. But I think the story of envy that they have displayed in this particular video, it actually fits the song narrative, in my opinion. I think I get the
Story of
vision of it.
envy.
Yes, some form of envy. The antagonist in this particular track
It,
or
it
video, if you noticed, he intentionally basically seeped through the relationship of a smooth flow of relationship. He actually was envious of Manu, and he
uh-huh.
so envy basically breeds doubt, and doubt
Yeah,
creates
yeah.
the opening or a breach, and that's what happens
Right.
in the video as well. So I kind of like that particular user, the particular setup that the director has done. And I think in terms of visual cinematography and everything, it was dark, dim, intentionally melancholic, and I think that was the reason. Because of the lyrics, he actually had to build that world around the track.
I think by the way, I have a completely opposite view where the third person in the scene was, I thought, completely unnecessary, because I felt that this was about, longing for each other, but also a loss of trust between both of the main characters. There was this loss of trust while longing for each other, right? And the with time, with action, they just couldn't connect or couldn't get closer because of their ego, because of because of being mistrustful or something. And if it had been kept only between these two, that would have worked better. But again, it's a very subjective opinion. It's when you have this kind of output, let's say, as you mentioned, right? I told you that it felt like Kamaj, but then you then unintentionally or subconsciously are comparing it to Kamaj, which was like an epic on a different level, which had acting on a different level, which had the storyline within the 3-4 minutes on a different level,
Different
right? So you tend to compare, which I really don't want to do, but yeah, this was, I mean, the track itself was beautiful, and that's why I feel that music videos are always usually distracting.
Yeah. All right. I think I would like to conclude, but I just remembered one point, and that basically was the most beautiful part of this track for me musically. If you notice, I think I've just noticed on the track itself around 1 minute 30 mark, or just in the beginning when Manu is transitioning to the chorus, Anural is in the backing vocals. Just notice that particular bit,
There were
how she
harmonies, yeah.
yeah, the way she has harmonized. On the other hand, when you listen to Anural singing the chorus and Manu was in the backing vocals or harmonizing, it has slightly different impact. And that
Also,
was, yeah,
the contrast in their voices
absolutely
was
the
was
contrast.
doing a lot of magic.
Yeah, absolutely. So that bit always gives me goosebumps for some reason, especially when Anural is vocalizing in the back, in the harmonizing as a backing vocalist. It just fits perfectly and beautifully done in that case. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if this track would be the best for me. I'm still skeptical.
It's too
Probably
early. It's too
it's
early.
too early. It's too early.
It's too.
It's very close, but yeah, I think there are still 3 more tracks to go, if I'm not mistaken. And I have my certain favorites, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll find out.
Yeah, but let me just maybe give you a spoiler. So recently, I has like trumped all tracks for me for some reason, and we'll talk about those reasons more. But I has like recently has like top the chart.
Okay. Let's
That
talk
might
about
change.
it. Okay, yeah. Let's see. We'll talk about it in another video. But thank you so much, all of you, for listening us, and we'll catch up on the next one. Until then, take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.